Hello there. According to reports, the Labour Party manifesto could contain a promise that the UK will investigate and punish itself for previous colonialism. Just 23 days to go until the general election, and out comes stories of a real vote-losing policy from the Labour Party. Under Jeremy Corbyn, instead of concentrating on how to make the UK better and stronger, it is claimed that his Labour government would instead look at ways of belittling the UK on the world stage and opening the path for other nations and people to demand and get huge reparations for our crime of having a past of imperialism. And the bearers of that cost would not be those that engaged in those acts from up to centuries ago. No, it will be the young people of today who will be forced to wear sackcloth and ashes while coughing up the fruits of their innocent labours for decades or more to come. People and governments from across the world would then gleefully queue up in courts for the billions in reparations that must surely follow such an abject move. Then they'll watch as the UK crumbles and becomes as naught. How can the leader of a political party that wants to govern a nation have a policy that would damage that nation's reputation and standing in the world, as well as drain it of its wealth? But the momentum-led Jeremy Corbyn Labour Party is now just a hard-left, redistributive outfit, isn't it? So it fits in nicely, I suppose. Previously, Jeremy Corbyn has said that the UK should consider paying reparations to former colonies, and has even demanded that our children be taught in schools about the grave injustices of our previous imperialistic ways. According to the Daily Mail, among the manifesto's most controversial pledges will be a review of the legacies of British imperial rule. The wording of the promise is understood to be broad, but campaigners have long demanded justice for those who suffered due to Britain's conquests overseas, as well as its role in the slave trade, which could, it says, lead to formal government apologies in Parliament and demands for reparations or compensation. Well, if Labour is putting such a policy in place, then it will make sure it is extremely successful on both those counts. And it will always be easy to make a success of any policy that involves giving away other people's money, that's your money, to anyone else who demands it. A Corbyn government will apologise to all and sundry, and will no doubt put in place an agency along the lines of our already over-generous foreign aid system, with a huge, if not bottomless, budget to be given away to claimants from around the globe. It could be Labour's most successful policy ever in terms of how much money it squanders. And the big question is, how long would it go on for and where would it stop? I have the nasty suspicion that this is intended as a sort of permanent socialist-type vehicle for ongoing wealth redistribution from out of the UK and into the wider world. Now, just like the 44% of respondents in a 2016 YouGov poll on the subject, I am proud of my nation's history. But Corbyn and Labour will be representing the 21% who said they regretted it. And how on earth can you hold people today accountable for the acts of those long since dead and buried? And many of those people undoubtedly thought they were doing the right and moral thing at the time. Many thought it was their duty to take our values out into what they saw as an uncivilised world. But who will be arguing their case? How on earth can you judge people from history against modern norms, morals and laws? Things really were different back then. Labour is purposely tying an anchor to the nation in order to drag it down to make amends for what it perceives as crimes of the past. It is purposely tying that anchor to the feet of our young people and future generations to force them to pay for these supposed crimes of their forebears. So all the political and financial costs will be visited on the blameless UK citizens, workers and taxpayers of tomorrow, the very youngsters of today that Labour claims it champions. And this policy proposal comes from a party that can't even investigate its own members today for some unsavoury attitudes within its own ranks. If you think you have a bright UK future ahead of you, then vote Labour at your peril. As Tory MP Michael Fabricant said, "Instead of focusing on Britain's long past imperial history and signalling how virtuous they are, Labour should apologise for their own problems, including their innate anti-Semitism." Anyway, what do you think of this Corbyn policy? Please share and comment, and thank you for listening. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. And thank you very much for watching.